Well, if he really was filming everybody, let's see. I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right? You know who said?
Now,
I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, you know, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh.
You know?
Sounds rough, man.
Well, it's just amazing how many people on the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala. Too.
Yeah, seriously. It's like insane.
Publicly, openly, like all in.
Yes. It's like J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend. and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion.
Joe Rogan, Terrence Howard, and Katt Williams just went off after some insane files connected to Diddy started floating around. And get this, even Elon Musk is chiming in, throwing not-so-subtle warning shots at big-name white celebs tangled in this whole twisted saga. Some of them already trying to dip out the country like it's a race against time.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Now let's get this straight. Everything here is straight from the rumor mill, internet whispers, and sources allegedly close to the situation. I'm just laying out what the streets are saying, so don't come knocking like I made it up.
If you don't mind me asking, because I know the topic is sensitive, what happened to Usher?
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. You know, I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not going to speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that, and they may be doing something, they may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
What did you hear?
Bro, you know how people be talking, and we was around some people, something like that, and then some people might say, yo, I don't F with that dude. And at the time, I didn't even know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when somebody say, yo, man, I don't F with them, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the, and that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you hear it, and that's what happened. So, and just to hear this, and this new thing where they saying that they got kids coming forward and said that he did that, man, that shit is crazy. And like I just said, you know, that's just something that I heard.
Fresh tea is spilling straight from the prison Diddy's locked up in, Zion, and it's sounding like he's about to flip to save himself. Word is, he's ready to drop names. And according to Joe, Terrence, and Katt, some of the people about to get caught in the crossfire, major names, but one name that really caught folks off guard, Uncle Steve Harvey. Yup, that's Steve. The whispers online, and what Katt kinda hinted at, say the moment Steve caught wind of Diddy's indictment, he didn't just dip, he vanished. Folks claim he hopped on the first jet out of here and went ghost mode real quick. Even wiped his socials clean, deleted anything that could link him to Diddy. That ain't just distancing, that's erasing history.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, that's how, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older.
Steve even went back and deleted a 2017 tweet where he called Diddy a brother doing good for these kids. Yeah, that one aged like spoiled milk. And the deeper you dig, the darker this whole situation starts to look.
I have 3 right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about.
Back in the day, Steve was moving like nothing was off. He was out in Italy vacationing with Diddy and Lori Harvey, who, let's not forget, had just dumped Diddy's son, Justin, only to start dating Diddy himself. Like, what was really going on? The whole thing just screams messy. But what truly got people creeped out was a photo of Lori wearing white nail polish. Sounds random, right? Not if you've been keeping up with the disturbing details in the Diddy case. Cassie revealed in her lawsuit that Diddy had a creepy obsession. He made every woman around him wear white nails during his so-called freak-offs. It wasn't fashion. It was for visual contrast in the disturbing tapes he kept of those nights, according to her claims.
She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years.
Now here's the wild part. Turns out Young Miami had white nails too, and brace yourself. Even Diddy's own mother. That got people asking real questions, like, did Steve Harvey seriously not know any of this? Or was he brushing shoulders with Diddy to get deeper into Hollywood's inner circle? Back then, Diddy wasn't just a celeb, he was a billionaire, running Revolt TV and rubbing shoulders with the most powerful producers in the game. That's exactly why people online are saying, if Diddy decides to snitch, we might finally understand why Steve Harvey dipped out of the country like his life depended on it. But it doesn't stop there.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
It's a special birthday for both of us. Yeah.
Let's talk about Meek Mill. Ever since Diddy's arrest hit the news, Meek been real quiet, like too quiet. Which is strange considering he and Diddy weren't just industry friends. They had history. Y'all remember that weird pool video? Diddy in the water calling Meek daddy and saying, "I love you"? At the time, folks laughed it off. But now, that clip hits completely different. It didn't age well at all. And just when Diddy's legal storm started spiraling with lawsuits naming names left and right, guess what? Meek vanished.
The irony is, there was a grand jury. We all had to go and speak at the grand jury. J-Lo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened, because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in and she lied to the grand jury. It needs to be reopened.
According to Lil Rod, who filed one of the lawsuits against Diddy, he claimed Diddy was bending Meek Mill and tossing him deals as payback. That's the kind of allegation that made people's jaws drop. So what did Meek do? He packed his bags and jetted off to Africa. Then he started tweeting cryptic stuff. One tweet even said he dropped $100,000 to figure out who was trying to link his name to Diddy. But the internet, oh no, they're not letting this one go at all.
Do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing.
Word on the street is Meek's in full-blown damage control mode because he might have been caught on actual footage the feds picked up. If that's even halfway true, it's only a matter of when, not if, the truth drops when this case officially kicks off. But in the meantime, he's out here playing clueless like nothing's going on, and let's be real, nobody's buying it. But Meek ain't the only one shaking in his boots. Usher's name is getting dragged too. He's been tight with Diddy since way back. And now folks are digging into that old connection.
Yeah, no, it's great. So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up to.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
It'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 2, 3 o'clock. And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
When Usher was just 13 years old, he was reportedly sent to Diddy's so-called flavor camp, and people are now asking what really went down behind closed doors. And let's not forget Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Gene Deal. He dropped a bomb when he claimed Diddy sent Usher to the hospital, bleeding from you-know-what? That's not just disturbing, it's horrifying. And if that wasn't enough to raise eyebrows, go rewatch that old Kevin Hart interview. The one where Diddy straight up joked about waking up in bed with Usher when they were younger. At the time, people just laughed it off, but now, With all these dark truths bubbling to the surface, ain't nobody laughing anymore. If Usher's name is tied to any of that mess, he better have his legal team on standby right now. Because if Diddy's talking, the walls are closing in fast.
All of these.
Now let's get into Jay-Z. He and Diddy been locked in for years. Business deals, parties, moving in all the same elite circles. But where things take a dark turn, a woman named Kathy White. Word in the streets is Kathy was Jay-Z's mistress. And here's the kicker. She allegedly passed away after getting pregnant by him. It's always been a whispered rumor, but now people are saying Diddy might have receipts, tapes, texts, something major. And if that's true, that's nuclear level T. But that's not the only fire Jay's been caught up in. Remember a few months back, an unnamed woman filed a lawsuit accusing both Diddy and Jay-Z of SA after the 2000 VMAs. She said it went down at some exclusive after party in a New York apartment, but once things hit the courtroom, the story started crumbling. The woman said her dad picked her up after the incident, but when he testified, he had no memory of anything like that. She also claimed she talked to Benji Madden at the same party, but Madden came forward and said he wasn't even in NYC at the time. Too many holes, not enough proof. The judge tossed the whole case out. But that didn't stop the streets from buzzing.
You know, I think part of why Kamala is getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public. And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Jaguar Wright jumped in, swinging hard at Jay-Z, adding more fuel to the chaos. And fans are watching every move like hawks. Jaguar Wright didn't hold back. She said Jay-Z is just as dirty as Diddy, maybe even worse. Straight up called him the devil, her words, not mine. And if Diddy's sitting on anything that links Jay to those so-called freak-offs, it's game over. And how could anybody forget that awkward Diddy birthday video? Him singing to French Montana, both of them greased up in baby oil. At the time, people joked about it. But now, after reports surfaced that the feds found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil at Diddy's spot, that moment hits way different now. But wait, J-Lo's name got thrown in the mix too. Flashback to that infamous club shooting with Shine. Sources are now saying J-Lo knew exactly what went down. Allegedly, she was the one carrying the weapon in her purse and then turned around and lied to the grand jury. That's not just wild, and that's criminal.
Who's the person that's #1 on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
Yes,
right?
without a doubt, you are invited.
One of the women injured that night, Natanya Rubin, isn't letting this go. She's been calling for the case to be reopened, even saying she's down to get fragments pulled from her face just to prove J-Lo's been covering it up all these years. According to Natanya, both Diddy and J-Lo need to face the music. And just when you think it couldn't get messier, Katt Williams and Terrence Howard started naming names. And now white celebs are getting pulled into the storm too. Now let's talk about the ones who've been moving like ghosts lately. Straight up vanishing acts. Even Elon Musk couldn't stay quiet. He reposted a tweet calling out Ellen DeGeneres for mysteriously fleeing the country right after the Diddy storm broke out.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punked because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody's on the table. He's like, not me, I'm off the table. And so that started our conversation. We became fast friends and we used to just hang out, watch football together.
And here's the kicker. Ellen didn't just go quiet, she disappeared. A recent photo popped up showing her at some quiet little pub in England, rocking a whole new look, new hair, new vibe, like she's trying to be someone else. She claims she moved to get away from the chaos in America. But let's be real, ain't nobody buying that. People think she's on the run, and considering her history with Diddy, that theory ain't too wild. He used to be on her show all the time, laughing, cracking wild jokes, and hinting at nights they definitely didn't want to explain on daytime TV.
No. Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. He's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to...
Come on now, dog.
That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh.
Come on, man.
Now I get it.
Back in 2016, Ellen tweeted him a birthday message calling him Cuddled McSnuggle Stuff and straight up said, y'all don't need to know why. But now, everybody wants to know exactly why. Let's not forget, Ellen had a bad reputation behind the scenes. Former staff blasted her for running what they called one of the most toxic sets in Hollywood. And now, rumors are swirling that 2 of her ex-romantic partners have mysteriously passed away, all under suspicious circumstances. And now folks are connecting dots, saying Diddy may have helped cover up way more than we thought.
So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers coming to make the approach, and you punch them in the mouth, or knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're gonna get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room.
Right after Joe Rogan broke things down in detail, Katt Williams stepped in and cranked the heat even higher. And let's just say he didn't hold back at all. For years, people treated Katt like he was just talking wild. But now, a lot of folks are starting to admit he might have been way ahead of the game, because now the whole industry's under fire. Katt made it clear, doesn't matter if you're black, white, or anything in between. If you were out here moving funny behind the scenes, it's coming to light. And guess who else is being looked at sideways? Leonardo DiCaprio. The second this whole Diddy story started unraveling, Leo was spotted hopping on a jet straight to Italy. He claimed it was a vacation with his new girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
But the timing, way too slick. Especially since old photos just resurfaced from back in '98 at Diddy's East Hampton mansion. And guess who's chilling in the background? Leo. Now people are asking real questions. How deep did his connection with Diddy go? Word on the street is Leo and Diddy were tight in the early 2000s. So tight that Diddy once called Leo his #1 VIP invite to those infamous white parties. And just like that, boom. Leonardo DiCaprio's team jumped into defense mode, claiming he and Diddy haven't spoken in years. Real convenient, right? Now let's talk about Ashton Kutcher. People forgot, but his MTV era ties to Diddy go way back. These two weren't just friendly, they ran the New York Marathon together, and Ashton was front and center at Diddy's 2009 white party. That ain't a casual connection. And who remembers that Hot Ones interview? When they asked Ashton about Diddy's parties, he got real nervous. Said he had stories but couldn't share. Now it's starting to make sense why he held back.
Because P. Diddy be wanting to body.
According to In Touch, Ashton and Mila Kunis are making serious moves to ditch Hollywood completely. Word is they're planning a full exit, packing up and starting over in Europe. Publicly, they say it's about stepping away from fame. But the internet thinks it's more like dodging fallout before Diddy's trial blows everything up. And just when the internet thought it couldn't get crazier, Terrence Howard came through and dropped a bombshell. On the PBD podcast, he didn't hold back one bit. No more riddles, no cryptic clues. He laid it out raw. According to Terrence, Diddy came at him under the disguise of a business deal. At first, it seemed like Diddy just wanted to help with acting.
Martin tried to put
Things took a turn real fast. What started as casual studio visits for music, yeah, it wasn't about music at all. According to Terrence, it was just a front to get close, real close. So close that his own assistant had to pull him aside and say he's trying to smash. That's all Terrence needed to hear. He cut ties, ghosted, locked every door, and got out of there quick. But here's the thing. He made it very clear. Diddy wasn't the only one playing that game. Terrence said this is a whole pattern in the industry. Multiple big-name producers tried the same shady moves. He explained that when a man walks into a room, the energy shifts, he's treated different. And the moment you push back on those weird vibes, you're cut off. No more invites, no more deals, no more calls.
Never ran into to put on the trust. I mean, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross.
According to him, that's exactly why some stars suddenly disappear or stop popping up. They refuse to play along. Then Katt Williams jumped in and backed up everything. He wasn't joking either. Katt said he turned down offers worth $50 million, and not once, not twice, but 4 times, just to protect his name and his soul. And when he said he was protecting his virgin hole, he meant that literally. That wasn't comedy, that was truth. Katt said folks don't even realize what they're signing up for when chasing fame and deals.
The new pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee, Pavensine Wallace.
Diddy? He'd been trying to get close for years, but Katt always shut it down. Then everything came back to one major point. People been whispering about it for years in the so-called dress agenda. That rumor about Hollywood pushing black men into feminine roles before they're allowed to reach the top. And it ain't new. Katt Williams, Terrence Howard, and even Dave Chappelle been calling it out loud and clear for a long time. Terrence said that's the real reason he got pushed out of Iron Man. It wasn't about contracts or checks. It was because he didn't fit the mold. He wasn't trying to be watered down. He wasn't trying to wear no dress. Period. Katt said he faced the same exact pressure. According to him, Martin Lawrence even tried to get him in a dress for Big Mama's house, but Katt said nope. He told Martin straight up.
So, you know, some of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we have Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next.
Okay.
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment.
I'm not the one you're looking for. And just like that, they went and got Brandon T. Jackson instead. Katt said he had all the roles lined up, all the bags waiting. But once they saw he wouldn't wear the dress, they closed those doors. He even called out Kevin Hart. Kevin once said publicly he'd never put on a dress. But fast forward a little, he's on SNL in a dress, and boom, his career takes off. Katt wasn't calling that a coincidence either. He broke it down plain. That's the game. You either play along with the system or they freeze you out. Even Dave Chappelle told Oprah the same story. They tried to force him into a dress too. He wasn't having it. And not long after, he vanished to Africa. People called him crazy, but now it's looking like he was just protecting himself from the madness. Katt's point couldn't have been more clear. Some folks go along with the game while others walk away, broke just to keep their soul intact.
Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done.
And right now, the internet's in full detective mode. Watch. More celebs are about to pop up saying, I never really messed with Diddy like that. But come on. Everyone knows Hollywood loved those Diddy parties. One person online said, I hope the Epstein list and the Diddy list drop at the same time. Throw all these evil people in jail. And honestly, that energy is spreading fast. As we move closer to May 2025, when Diddy's trial kicks off, this whole thing feels like a ticking bomb, and the countdown has already started. So what do you think about all of this chaos unraveling in real time? Who's telling the truth? Who's hiding behind silence? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're keeping our eyes on everything. And if you're locked in for more raw truths, bold stories, and unfiltered drama, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your crew, and smash that next video showing on your screen right now. See you there.